Teresa Panzica.
Hi, thanks everybody for tuning in. So today I think we're going to talk about people that are buying, right? We always have questions on what's the difference between FHA
And the conventional side.
So the number one difference is here, first of all, I think there's a misconception that we have to kind of clear up here first. So a lot of people think that the down payment is everything. And unfortunately, sorry to break the news, it's not. So with that in mind, we're going to go over quickly like what the difference is. So we'll make you be FHA and I'll be conventional so you can look at the cheat sheet. So, all right, so what is it? So the down payment for an FHA is going to be
3.5% usually.
So for a $300,000 house, if you're buying FHA,
You're looking at about $10,500 on a down payment.
and then for conventional, it's 5 to 10%. I ran numbers on 10%, just make it easier for you guys to understand. So if you put 10% down on conventional, I know a lot of people think that it's only 20%, right? But it actually could vary somewhere between 5 and 20% or more, depending on like what you have or what programs your lender has. But if you did 10%, your down payment would be 30. So the normal person would think, right, like I have to put in 10, right, only available in 10. But unfortunately, there are other pieces of the puzzle in a transaction. Luckily, I cannot compete with you. You are free to buyers. I charge a nominal fee. An attorney fee is usually the lowest thing that you pay for. Our fee is $5.95. There are some additional charges if you're doing different things or request additional services, but that's our base fee. The second lowest fee, I think after that is like, I don't know, maybe like municipality items, title and lender, right? Title and lender, somewhere between, and we'll go over that next. So the cost you're going to be paying for are going to be, not you because you're free, but attorney fees, title fees, lender fees, municipality charges, and that's pretty much it for buyers.
County and state are paid by the sellers.
Right. So that's what you're looking at for buyers. So what does that mean? So FHA has additional costs, like you have to pay mortgage insurance premium partial up front. So you're looking at, on an FHA, your costs are going to be
roughly $6,400.
So, and whereas conventional, it's $58. And I do want to point out, because I got to always help the lawyers out there. So our fees are only $500 of that. So $6,400 or $5,800, which is a lot. So if you're buying, conventional, you're looking at like $36,000
to close.
Right. For FHA, you're looking at, where are we, like $17,000 to close,
Little under 17.
And that's even with that low down payment. So what are ways that like you see people help with bringing down, having to bring in like 36 or 17,000?
Well, first off, biggest aspect of it is when searching for your home.
Right. If you want that amount to go down.
Exactly. The home needs to qualify for FHA financing.
Okay.
After you go under contract, the lender will send an appraiser. Both programs, conventional or FHA, an appraiser will come out to the home. The only difference on that, on the FHA side of it, there's certain items the appraiser will be looking for. They're usually health and safety issues, GFI outlets in the proper locations, kitchen, bathrooms, exterior of the home, garage of the home, peeling paint, handrails on all the staircases. Those items need to be there prior to closing. So, when searching for a home, I hate to say it, but that deal that's out there with the flooded basements that you can repair yourself, unfortunately, most likely will not pass the FHA financing, and you will have to go through the conventional program.
Right. So I've had a lot of people ask me before, and I don't know, I think there's kind of two schools of thought on this, and I'm of the one thought that I'm going to tell you right now. So a lot of people will ask me to look at a home inspection report. I don't go to the house, you do, so I don't know if this happens to you, but this happens to me a lot. But they'll ask me to look at the home inspection report that's, part of the process that you do when you buy a house, and then predict what the FHA gentleman is going to cite, based on what you just went over, like the general things that you're looking at. So I'm not talking about, in like the the bargain basement deal.
Yeah.
I'm just saying like in a regular house, so I'm of the thought that, you know, it's two different people. So the home inspector's guy one, the FHA gentleman that looks for the condition of the
number
house is
two.
another person. So I'm of the thought that, you know, like everybody's human, not everybody's gonna see the same things. There might be like blaring issues that might not get cited. So are you in my school or are you the opposite?
Yes
or you're
and
in
no.
between?
Yes and no. You
Okay.
know, a properly trained broker can usually walk into a home and know if
Right.
it's gonna pass FHA.
Right,
There's certain items that we should be looking for. Granted, there are items that you could miss sometimes
Right.
or that are hidden, but usually a qualified broker should be able to spot
tell.
those items, and it shouldn't even make it to the point of writing a
going through
contract.
okay. So, but that's different. I know I have like, I think the not popular view, but I've seen a lot of times where people tell me there's gonna be all kinds of issues, and then they go and nothing happens. But there's, you know, we do have a lot where they go and then there are issues. So it's hit or miss
Hit
on
or
like
miss.
what's gonna happen, because there is a level of like humanness to this where there's
Yes.
a gentleman going or a woman going and they're gonna see different things. So
It's really up to the appraiser when he walks into the property.
what they're gonna do. So if they're busy, maybe you'll get lucky,
Yeah.
but you know, it's bad for you as the buyer, so you want them to catch that. But the other thing that we didn't talk about is that if someone's buying a condo, so if someone's buying a condo and they wanna get
Yes.
FHA, what
Yes.
happens with that?
Condominium and attached properties, so your condominiums, your townhomes,
Okay,
usually the way you can spot it is, in Cook County, the last four numbers of the PIN will not be off 4 zeros.
right,
So if the last four are not off 4 zeros,
Okay.
they're an attached property. You need to check to see if they are FHA approved as far as on an association level or complex level.
right,
That can be
They
done
aren't
through the
always.
HUD's
Right.
website.
Right.
The complex needs to be FHA approved.
right. Which is great that you are working with someone like yourself that actually checks that, because I don't think a lot of people check that, because I know
Yes.
I've had a couple sellers recently sell their house and the buyer was shocked that the building wasn't FHA approved. So it's nice to work with someone that's as thorough as you are, because that's definitely important, because if you can't get FHA, that means conventional, that might mean a bigger down payment. But you mentioned to me something also important, is that if you were able to get the conventional with the 5% down, it might not be that much of a difference between FHA and
Correct.
conventional,
I mean, on your
just 2% or less than 2,
Yeah,
sorry.
on your payment amount, you're looking at sometimes a difference between 3.5% down on the FHA and 5% if you can qualify on the
Nominal.
conventional.
Right, very small.
You know, now, if you can get that conventional pre-approval in your hand, number one, you're open to, especially on the attached property or condominium site, to pretty much any property out there.
Right,
On the single family side, I have had my own sellers take a lower priced conventional contract over a higher priced FHA contract,
okay,
based on the repair items we talked about previously, and it's a smoother transaction from start to finish.
right, shorter time frames for closing. So, another thing that I wanted to point out too is that in terms of getting the costs down, do you find that a lot of sellers are open to doing closing cost credits to help buyers offset some of these costs?
They are. Now,
Okay.
the only thing, in today's market, you know, negotiating is a little tougher.
Right,
We have low inventory, but buyers and sellers are still open to that closing cost credit.
okay, so like, let's say for instance, like they're usually capped, so like on FHA, if your costs are $6,400, they're not gonna let you get a closing cost credit for $10,000, right?
Correct, it's usually, and it varies lender to lender,
Right.
but usually no more than 3% of the purchase price.
Right, so if you get into a situation where you ask for more, let's say you do the inspection and there more things come up that you wanna ask for, you can have the price reduced, but that doesn't dollar for dollar actualize in your pocket, it just kind of marginally brings down what your payment is, but it does dollar for dollar lower your loan amount.
Yes.
Because the loan amount is based on the purchase price, so, you know, these things that we're talking about abstractly today, you can actually see on my closing cost app in terms of the pricing and playing around with credits and all that stuff. That's called Panzico Law 3.0, you could download it to your desktop,
3.0.
laptop, right, 3.0. Phone, it's in the App Store, so check it out, it's free to you guys. So I think it's kind of cool to show you the differences on here, and then you could play around with, maybe 300,000 isn't for you because you don't want to bring in 10,000 or 17,000 or 30,000 down, so maybe you want a lower priced property, just to help
Taxes.
with the down payment,
You know,
right?
you also need to look at the tax aspect of it, that monthly breakdown on it.
Right, so, certain areas, like generally, if there's not a lot of industry, the taxes are higher. Certain areas or certain counties, their taxes are higher, and you do help people all throughout.
Throughout the state of Illinois.
Right, so, it's nice that you guys have, and you're tuning in today, so you guys can learn all the differences on this and get clarification on the fact that down payment doesn't cover everything, and also that you can work with, people like our office and Mr. Zerillo's office that travel within the 5 counties and beyond. So we're definitely here to help you. So if you have any questions, feel free to give us a call. You can find all my information at www.panzicalawoffice.com or give us a call at 773-539-5970. And how can they reach you?
847-292-4700 or ZerilloRealty.com.
All right, great. So if you're ready to decide between conventional and FHA and start your home buying process, give Mr. Zerillo a call and he will help you out on that today. Thank you.